Hey, what's going on, YouTube community? Hey, this is Dwayne with how do I explain this? I want to give a quick rundown of why I post my record finds. I'm so enticed and intrigued by how many people look at them, especially those in the picking community, of those that go out and look for bargains at garage, estate sales, those kind of things. I actually make those videos for similar people almost like myself, who are fairly anal, a little bit lost in their own world. They build mounds of records. They could tell you the history, the emotion, the facts of the album. I don't know if you've ever seen John Cusack in High Fidelity with Jack Black, but I used to own a music store, and it's very similar to that. But one day one of his employees comes over to his house and is looking at him pulling all of his records off the wall and says, "You're not doing these in alphabetical order, and they're not chronological." And John says, "No, they're autobiographical." Meaning in his autobiography, he's writing them in the sense of why he went and bought that LP, on what day, what was on his mind, what he bought before and after it, what was surrounding it. He can tell you all the emotions attached to it. And I live in that weird little place. I get out there. So I know those things. I mean, I know records really pretty good. And I only know a niche of them. I mean, there's so much I don't know. So many specialists. It's kind of like a doctor that practices certain types of medicine. You know, they only know certain areas. But I don't practice medicine. I'm not a practicing attorney writing contracts. I buy good records because I know them. And so with that, I don't want to confuse people nor mislead you that all this stuff is out there available. My last episode was of the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail for me, a $4,000 record. In 25 years of buying records, do you know how many $4,000 records I've sold? 3,000? 2,000? Now I've sold several $1,000 plus LPs. And I've sold several collections worth tens of thousands of dollars. But to have an individual record worth that much in 25 years, I just found one. That's kind of how rare that is. You know, I throw away, I'm going to say on average, at least 300 to 500 LPs a week. I mean, in the garbage, goodbye. I sort through thousands of LPs within a month, and I keep probably 1/10 to 1/5 of that amount. The rest of it goes in a box, and then it goes back through an auction. So, I mean, I go through a vast amount of records, and you see the cream of the crop. So, I really don't want to mislead people because, as I like to say, there are as many records out there as there are stars in the sky. I mean, the Beatles have sold 1 million LPs, 1 million copies of their, or a billion copies of their LPs. I mean, that's a lot. They're the all-time leading seller. I think Michael Jackson is 750 million. But I mean, that's a lot of information out there. So, if you watch my videos and you find something cool and you pick up a rarity, thanks to me, you know, just write me. I'll give you my address. You can send me a royalty check. Okay? But otherwise, if you're buying something, please don't go on what I buy. You know, I mean, you would be amazed at how many AC/DC records are out there, or Neil Diamond, or ABBA. I mean, there is Moody Blues and Led Zeppelin, and then it comes into condition. You know, what condition is it in? Doesn't matter what the cover looks like. What's the record look like? And then it matters what printing is it, what pressing. Because if it was printed 30 years ago, think they've probably reissued it a few times over. I'm just trying to give you some perspective of really what I deal with in this realm, and not to discourage you, but really I just don't want to mislead somebody out there. I don't want you to spend your hard-earned money buying a box of records and get home and write me, and I say, well, I just donate them back to the Goodwill or throw them in the trash. So, and that's all. You know, I want to be a friend to everybody. I don't want to mislead anybody, and I really want you to get a perspective of what I see and how I share them. So, with that, KSI, keep us on in your heart, guys.